Happy evening. Happy Toyzday. B, how you doing, man?
What's up, man? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going, man?
It is going well. Now, for all of you joining us tonight, we've got Kevy Cold Cuts hanging out in the waiting room down below there. We did have a quick moment before we hopped in there. They were having a little bit of a hard time hearing us. So when we pull them in, bear with us. Be patient.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
that you love us and that we're actually slow.
yeah. It's true. That's true.
That out of the way. B, how you doing?
Oh man, I'm doing good, dude. How are you?
Yeah. I am good. I don't know if there is like a plague that is circulating your
Mm,
end of the woods as well, but my gosh, man, there is something that just keeps on hitting everybody here. Obviously, you can't catch the
yeah,
same cold twice, so it's got to be something different. But yeah, everybody's just getting their ass whooped by some kind of fucking
yeah.
flu
There was a,
bug.
a cold flu something. I'm not sure, man. I think oh god, dude, I think we passed around here. Probably a little bit, but coming out of it now, man. The rain has stopped, the sun's been out, just a little bit cold, but um cruising right along, dude. First of the year, first guest of the year tonight, dude. That's a good one.
I every time that I end up growing it for a little bit, I can always remember that my beard sucks. But it's always being on here that reminds me when I
Mm,
can see
mm.
directly through it and see my chin still. I'm always like, yeah,
I was I was gonna say
that's
you
a good sign it's weak,
I was gonna say you have a beard?
right? You know what I mean? It might as well be that I've accidentally got some fluff from the ground stuck to my chin for a moment. Just wipe that away. Hey, you want to say hi to the folks hanging out in the chat there before we get carried away talking about shitty facial hair for too long?
I sure will.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
Fletch was in at 11:42, so I don't know if he's still in here. But what's up? What's up, Fletch? If you're in here, 11:42, man. I don't know how long the link had even been up yet. Suki, what's up, man? Micah, what is going on? Abaddon, what is going on? Zemitko, what is up? Slipshot Average, what is up? Jazz Wizzy, Headcase Toys, Eric, what's going on, man? Hobo Toys, Bootleg Toy Co, Doc Horror, what is up? Bootleg Toy Co, man. I'm sure you got them in the links today. That tomorrow, big day. Tomorrow,
Long
big
awaited.
day for the old Bootleg Toyco. That's gonna be cool, man. I'm looking forward to that one. Absolutely, no doubt. Measles. Come on,
Absolutely no
Scott.
doubt, he
Are you
says.
kidding me? Hmm.
Also, Fletch is asking that what's your favorite cold cuts? Now, cold cuts are basically like a lunch meat over there too, right? I'm not
Absolutely
crazy. Yeah.
correct. Correct.
You got a favorite cold cut?
Hmm, you
Right.
know, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I would have to say, if I were to go and get a sandwich down at the deli right now, I would probably get if I had to go, if I was feeling nostalgic, I would have to get a salami on Dutch Crunch with American cheese, mayonnaise, lettuce, pickle. Good to go. So probably
Dude.
salami. If I had to choose one. Or turkey. Turkey also good.
Eh, Everything about what you just said there sounds fucking rank, my dude. You can't be putting American cheese and mayonnaise. What is that?
Okay. And
Oh.
and your choice would be
You know how you take celery and you put peanut butter across the top with little raisins?
yes.
Can I just sub that in instead?
Absolutely not. That is not a cold cut. I knew it was gonna be something stupid like that.
I've never had a cold cut.
Here comes the vegetarian ass shit right here. Here it comes.
You,
Ants
you
on
know,
a
you,
log. Get out of here, dude. What are you, 6 years old?
uh, pretty much most days, yeah, pretty fucking much, man.
That is good though. I won't let you sub it, but that is good though. Boys,
Yeah.
what am I walking in? Yeah, no shit, right? Pockets also what I mean. Um, So, anyways, dude, we've been scheduling a lot. I think I messaged you about that, man. We've been putting a lot of stuff on the schedule. Um, February's, slightly busy, but March, dude,
Got it
March.
slammed. You got it like right slammed up.
Oh God, dude. Well, yeah. So we not only that we have the 200th show coming up in
Oh
March.
yeah, touche.
200th show. So we'll have to figure that's like towards the back half of March. But also sandwiched in between there is we'll probably take a look at this tonight. Sewer Showdown announced that they were coming on, and then also in the calendar comments that we asked for a couple weeks ago. Um, Original Cash brand has their summer showcase. Oh, I'm sorry, their spring showcase, which is right there towards the end of the month as well. So that'll be cool, man. That like I said, I think March is almost booked up for us already between shows, show recaps, show previews, and then just guests in general. So that'll be cool, man. Another one, dude, LRH, he's coming on like April 1st. So that's a couple months down the road, but that'll be a good one right after the spring showcase, which hopefully he'll be doing. He's
That's
also running a
very
great sale right now. I think we put that link up in our tabby doos, but 50% off right now. If you're looking for some LRH stuff, now is the time to buy. Dre
yeah. And
Dog, what's up, mate?
so now, because I'll admit I was half brain dead. I pulled it up for a quick second earlier before we hopped on. But when you're saying it's 50% off, is that happening on the Futuristico page, right? That's not. Is it through LRH's store as well?
I think there's a link. You know what? I'm not sure. Good question on that, but you're probably right. I think it's Original Cash Brand store because that's the store that's here in the States. So,
Yeah.
also, that's another artist from overseas that if you're looking to save on some shipping, now's the time to do it for sure.
Yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, currently Original Cash Brand, the champ behind the Future Retroistico magazine, they actually, when they were doing AR last year, had a bunch of other artists from around the globe that couldn't be there. They were tabling those artists there. So they have some of that back stock, I believe, that they're trying to kind of get out to the world as well. LRH, if you guys aren't familiar, they're actually over in the UK. Is it Ireland or is it in Britain?
I can't remember, man.
All right, well, they're
Over,
over in
over,
the
over there somewhere.
watch. It's gonna be like Scotland, just to really fuck with us.
I think it
But
is though, dude, because I just sent them a package recently, and I think it was Scotland.
now my eyes keep glancing over to the chat, being like, "All right, folklore, chime in." But yeah, LRH is going to be having some pieces at 50% off currently. So
Yeah.
I think this is great, dude. I think probably one of the biggest things, and we've even known this since if you were one of the people that were first talking to Titty Bean, it is so fucking hard when you're an international individual and you're trying to sell pieces in this scene. And the more international you get, the more difficult it gets. And especially if your currency isn't so hot. Like I know that was one of the biggest things with Titty Bean. I'll never forget going to their store, dude. They've got a bunch of pieces on there for like $13. You're like, what? You throw like three or four in a cart. You go to checkout. Shipping's gonna be $48. And I remember talking to him about it like a bajillion times because he's sitting there being like, I don't know what to do about this. I'm pricing my figures at like a stupidly low price, and the shipping is still a turn off when they get to it.
Hmm.
And I feel like most of our homies who are overseas end up dealing with that, where for whatever reason, you can try and put the shipping into your pricing. You can try and actually price lower to try and accommodate for the expensive shipping. Never seems to fucking please anybody because it just looks intimidating when you get to that checkout.
Yeah, dude, and it's especially when you have like 3 point like or a figure that's less than the shipping, right? And then the shipping's more, then you go, okay, well, let me buy two just so I can kind of justify that a little bit. Or if I'm gonna do this, I might as well go in a little bit more. And then you just keep on adding and adding, and it's like, damn, it becomes a pricey deal pretty quick. Um, and you're right, dude. It seems like Canada's one thing. The shipping that I sent to Canada this last time actually wasn't all that bad.
No doubt.
Um,
Good.
Less than I thought. I think though it was still falling under holiday shipping rates. I think they continue that past Christmas now.
But also, like, this makes a difference.
Yeah,
You know
that's a
what I
fact.
mean? When it's literally the size of my upper body, then yeah, the shipping on it's going to be a little bit more.
Yeah, but it's still man, dude, the shipping, I can see that always. I mean, dude, we haven't talked about that in a little while, but it is something that we have talked about extensively throughout our almost 200 episodes is shipping.
Right.
And and then that's where, part of the big bummer of stores like E2K, when they weren't around anymore because they did have a lot
Yeah.
of pieces from international artists. But you know, DKE would be another one to look at. If you're looking for something from some international people, sometimes
Yep.
he's shipping from Southern California, so definitely save on some shipping there. But it's tough, man. Anytime you cut somebody else in, then it becomes a whole different thing, and you know, it's kind of a bummer. But there are some ways around it. We've talked about people going in with each other. I've
Yeah.
done that a couple times with people, especially to places that really charge up, like Argentina and some of those other countries. In that area, Finland's a tough one. Tom stuff is expensive to ship.
Usually I just remind people to hop on the bicycle, dude.
Okay, yeah, can do that. Can do that.
Get on the old bike and just pedal.
Yeah, and yeah, gosh, dude, I think as a consumer, I think I'm always going to find something to complain about. Just a little while ago, we were talking about shipping not even being a thing and not even be able to get anything from anybody, and now that it's back, it's like, oh, thank God it's back. I can fucking complain about it again. You know. Uh, um, so, but I mean, that's part of the deal. That's part of the deal with anything. I think, man, if you get it from places that are not from around you, I think the expectancy is to pay a little bit more. But God, dude, with so many good people and so many good artists being out there, especially in like Australia. Australia is another one, dude. You're looking at 40 to $45 minimum. Um, to ship something over there, almost no matter what size it is. It's crazy. So, anyways,
We were talking about E2K. I feel like they slide by, but Toy de Jour as well. And actually, Mecca was sending me. I'll pull up the link later. But Toy de Jour right now actually received a personal collection that they're going to be selling pieces off to. So it might be worth anybody who's looking to maybe get some old figures from artists that they really like and just haven't seen in a while. It might be a great place to try and take a little peek.
nice, man. Yeah, Toy de Jour. I was in Chicago a couple years ago, man, and I just did not make it over there. Um, Toy de Jour. Chicago is one of those cities, man, where it looks really close on a map, but it takes a long time to get from point A to point B. You know what I mean? So on a map, I'm like, oh, it's right there, and then I'm looking at like how long it would take to actually get there, and it's like, oh man, it's a bit. But yeah, man, that's another shop there that you know I'm sure they carry stuff from people over. I didn't see that. Maybe I did see that, man, that they acquired a collection. I like that. That sounds cool. I like when that happens.
Some I recognize, admittedly, anytime I see these guys here, I'm always very intrigued because we don't see much of this style from them anymore.
Mm.
And of course, that's going to be King Red. So that would have been one of like the early master casters and sucklord type days of casting resin stuff. And like I
Mm.
said, we just don't really see this dude pop out toys anymore. So whoever this collector was obviously collecting from probably
Ooh.
pre '05, like.
Wow. Yeah, that's very nice. Hmm.
So I'm sure there's something in there for some of you folks who might like collecting toys.
Yeah. Wow.
If
That's nice.
if any of you enjoy doing that.
Probably a couple people in the room.
Maybe one or two. Now I
One or
know
two.
we're about 15 minutes in at this point. You know how I get. I got ants in my pants about fucking guests sitting down in the waiting room there.
Cool
Have have
cat.
you have you discussed your life and asked me about my life enough that we can pull in Kevy cold cuts yet?
No, but we can circle back on that, man. I didn't even ask how you're doing. We kind of just skipped that whole thing, but
How you doing, B?
I told you I'm doing good.
Yeah, I told you I'm doing sick.
Oh, you're doing sick. Okay, well,
Hey, there
yeah,
we go.
well, you're right. We did cover it then.
Doing sick, craving ants on a log of celery. That's we're all caught up, bro.
There we go, man. Nice.
I'm a little nervous. We were talking about beards earlier, and this dude, I can already tell they've got a good beard,
Oh,
good
that's a real
genetics.
beard. That's a real beard.
That's an actual beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevy Gold's got too good to come in, dude. I'm gonna pull you in.
You guys, though.
You can't. You still can't hear us.
Yeah, man, it's like really, really faint.
See, and I wish I knew how from our end I could potentially edit your like stereo settings or something. But the most I can do is increase our volume. But then we might be demolishing everybody else's ears. He can't hear me anyway, so he's probably sitting there like, yeah, okay, crumbs. Whatever you say,
Yeah,
bro.
I can't really. I'm trying to mess around with it here too, man, and it's just barely coming through.
Oh, fuck. Sorry, dude. You got headphones handy by chance, man? Your headphones?
Like I had some in, but like there was nothing coming through. I tried going with the speakerphone. Like it's
Did it hook up to anything else Bluetooth that you have? Possibly.
I can't really hear, man. Sorry.
Yeah, I like Abaddon 40 is like, well, I mean, you guys can turn yours up. He's loud, and they'll just turn down on their end. I mean, we might be clipping all night, but let's see what we do here. I'll just increase my volume. Is that any better for you there, Kevy? Can you hear me when I do that?
No.
Because that's me like jacking my mic right up to full blast. I don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say mine's all the way up too.
Well,
Let me take a look around and see if I can't find another set of
All right.
headphones and see if we can't get it figured out. Sorry, guys.
No, all good, dude.
You're good, man.
We're gonna start scrolling your account. That's what we'll do.
Right? Almost
yeah,
200
because
episodes in. We'll get it sorted one day.
yeah, one of these days. That's the thing about you and I were just talking about before we came on is I was taking some notes earlier today and was just like let's see when the toys stuff started, which I mean, man, dude, you think you found the beginning of it, then you keep scrolling, you go, oh, there's a little bit more, oh, there's a little bit more, oh, there's a little more, then you follow a link and you're just like, oh, wait a minute, he's doing little pieces for these people too. And then there's all kinds of and then you're like, oh, he does art, and then you're like, oh, well, this is a different kind of art. Oh, he's painting skulls too. Oh, he's making skulls too. And it's just like, damn, then you start really digging in, man, and there's a lot of different stuff on there. And so what I was telling you was like, dude, if we just scroll that account, um I mean, you can pretty much, stop wherever you want and find something cool to talk about. But some really cool art in there, dude. The toy making, it definitely looks like it's on the come up right now. He's trying a bunch of different things. There's even like a little set or series of figures that he has in there. Um, but yeah, dude, it's another artist that, and I don't know how many followers does he have, dude? Like 250, 254, something stupid
Yeah,
like
currently
that.
252. 252 at the moment.
Yeah, dude, and you look at some of his posts, dude, right? And some of that art, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Then you look on it, dude, and it's like 2 likes, and you're just like, God, dude, what a shame that no one, it's just early enough that I think there's just not a lot of people seeing it at this point.
Yeah, and that's always really tough because at the end of the day, whether you want to admit it or not, I like most of the artists that we talk to aren't ego driven, but I think every human being there's that tiny part of the ego that likes the reward, right? And when you're posting and you're receiving 10 to 14 likes, regardless of how fucking dope and amazing it is, no matter how good you think it is, why would you continue to do it? You know what I mean? And anybody out there knows this. Like, it's not necessarily 2 seconds to just take a picture of something and post it up there. There is a lot more thought typically that goes behind what you're posting on something like that. And you even kind of nailed it. When you mentioned that you can go back through their page, this was the one that you shared. And what was funny to me is this is a prime example of, I mentioned before, the Ontario Arts Council, right? So something like this was obviously Ontario Arts Council funded and it had some backing. You also have like a Canadian heritage going on in here. So, and yet the 14 here. And it's like, well, you would hope more people actually attended the event than that. Obviously, when you multiply how many artists might have been participating in that event, that hopefully there would have been more. But art's a weird thing, dude. I do feel bad for some of these smaller accounts, and I get that they're just still making and posting and doing stuff, but it is we talk about it all the time. It's frustrating when you look at these like smaller accounts wondering like why. I think one of the big ones would have been, oh goodness, Feral Foundry for like 2 years on this show. Anytime we brought them up, it was like, the is wrong with the number on their page? Why isn't it 10 times bigger?
Yeah, dude, and I think at the end of the day, too, it's kind of just like Pope Toys says, Toys Alive bump. And I don't want to say it's necessarily a bump from us, but I think it's a bump. Once you start getting involved in shows, and people start following and posting and reposting your stuff, I think the cool thing about not having a lot of followers and recognition now is that we'll get to see that increase, hopefully in the near future, and just kind of watch it keep climbing as long as he keeps going and posting and uh you know kind of being part of the scene. But um yeah, dude, lots of different stuff on there, for sure. Lots of original sculpt stuff. You can tell that trying some a few different things. But the painting, just the paint alone, like painting stuff, those skulls started off as just kind of painting the skulls, and then making the skulls. But yeah, there's just a lot going on there, man.
Well,
But
even this caught me off guard. I mean,
I like that figure, dude. Damn.
we had Zemico on here 4 weeks ago talking
Mhm.
about electroplating. Brass Patina finished Elder. It's like I don't know many folks that were just kind of like, damn, that was a sick episode watching that with somebody doing electroplating. I want to electroplate some shit now.
Yeah.
That's kind of I mean, like, homeboy's got that fucking go getter energy, dude. We see it often when homies first come out in the scene. We see it with Pope Toys actually a lot as well, where that fires under their ass and they want to make, but the variance and like the constant like going, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then like you said, all the different mediums. And like that's a pile, dude. You guys know what it's like to actually fucking cast a whole wave of something, sand it, bag and tag it.
Yeah, and if you go through the account and you read some of the stuff, that stuff's been for sale at little markets and different kind of places out there, and it's
Yeah, like for somebody that I thought we were kind of catching them at the very start, like that's a full table, bro.
that's a lot of stuff right there. Yeah.
Yeah, Dog Horror, nailing it.
Yeah.
Like you were mentioning these skulls earlier, man. No,
Barrio
those,
Boba, what up, dog?
you know,
Um,
even this guy here. I don't know if anybody here was a fan of Stargate growing up, but that's
yeah,
immediately where my brain went.
that figure on the left too. There's another one where it's all black, and I think it's like got red eyes, maybe. That's a sick looking figure. That post that I saw, I don't know how. Nah, it's I can't remember where I saw it, man. It's in that thread somewhere. But anyways, you know what, dude? Check this out, man. There was a piece that I saw in there, and I was like, dude, it reminds me of like a Zimico slash Fret Brett piece, dude. Um, it was like a kind of like a worm, like with two heads. It was crazy. But anyways, yeah, see, man, those are not bad. Those are cool.
be given the old evaluation over there. Oh yeah, that not bad. Like that. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Well, see, and there's some other like this is where like that Guardian right there, top right. Yeah, fresh. Dig that, dude.
Yeah. October 26, 2025. Hand on backers.
Yeah, backers, bubbles, figures. Like I don't know how tall that figure is, but
Well, it seems, unless I'm mistaken, there's three, right? Elderbot, Guardian, Tire Pit. So already has three figures to be kind of
there it is.
able to
That's the one I
rotate
was
through.
thinking about in the top left, the one right above that. I think that's probably the same picture, but yeah,
Same dude.
yeah, sick.
Yeah, in October. Fuck, great illustration work too.
Oh, dude, the art in the account is like, damn. So there you go. That's what I was talking about right there. Like a
Yeah.
little fret Brett piece, you know.
And let's be real, also 15 on a lot of these. And I wouldn't be too surprised if, again, that's almost like an example of being Canadian, shipping kind of being shitty. I like seeing the evolution,
Yeah.
you know, from like that dude to months later actually having full large cloaked guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh fuck, man! It is a different type of brain, I think, to be able to do this kind of shit. Zymecoa is a prime example of that as well, where it's I don't know how you guys just keep pumping it out. I mean, I know every time that Zimmet's doing something, and Titty Bean's an example too. You can't sit on the call with the guy without him fucking sitting there making something.
Mm-hmm.
But there's, I don't know, man. My eyes and brain can't do it. That's the best way I'm gonna put it. Hey, Kevy, I see you down there. Are you hearing us any better, man? All right, I'm gonna pull you in.
Oh,
Well, is this a little better?
yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good. My headphones were a no-go, so I got you on
Nice.
Hey,
speakerphone.
as long as it's working, man. I'm sorry for any kind of hold up there.
No, it's all good, boys.
No, you let the folks at home know who you are, and then we'll hop in asking a bunch of questions.
Yeah, for sure. I'm Kevy Cold Cuts. I'm a artist, toy maker. Really, I work in a lot of different mediums. By day, I actually work at a local smoked meat shop, and I make all the smoked meats, sausages, and stuff. So, artisan of many different crafts up here in the Great White North.
There it is, man. The fact that you literally do, in fact, work with cold cuts is kind of hilarious to me. I wasn't sure where that was necessarily coming from.
Yeah, so the name actually comes from my homie Mitch. Shout out to at Ollie Mitchells, another local artist from up in Northern Ontario, rapper, MC, produces his own beats and everything. Check him out on all the streaming services. We played in a group for many years. I was a musician, and he gave me the nickname. I worked in Delhi for many years.
What a great name, dude. And it's Ollie Mitchell, Ollie Mitchell, correct?
S at the end.
S.
Yeah.
Ollie Mitchell's. I saw that link.
I use his music from time to time in my posts.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Check it out. Dude. If you guys like old school hip hop.
Yes.
There you go. And actually, so his album Fuchsia, I did the artwork for that.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Nice, very cool.
Yeah.
That's what I was. We were kind of talking about before, man. Is it looks like the actual real toy stuff started. I think January 25 is kind of your first announcement of, saying, "Hey, I'm making these resin skulls now," and it was a mold and cast of the skulls that you had been painting already.
Yeah.
And then the painting skulls goes back even further. But it's funny, man. He's just kind of scrolling through your page. You're just like, oh, there's some more stuff that's not actual like painting or illustration work.
Yep.
And it just keeps on going further and further and further back. So it seems like it's almost. I'd like to say the toy making stuff is new, but it looks like it's not all that new. It goes back at least a few years, right?
No, well, like, so the actual toy making goes back about a year. Actually, it's pretty much like a 1 year anniversary because it was probably about the second week of January last year that I started actually sculpting and casting and all that stuff. And like you were saying, yeah, end of January is probably when I put up the first post. Some of that stuff you're seeing earlier, that's just that's like random stuff I would find. My girlfriend would find for me at Winners, a dollar store and stuff like that. Sort of thrift shops. I've done a lot of like furniture, just a lot of random stuff.
Furniture, cold
Yeah,
cuts,
yeah,
wrapping.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Kind of
It's
all over the place. Kind of all over the place. I don't like to limit myself.
apparently, dude. Like I'm even looking at one of your tables from April. The fact you have this much bagged and tagged is actually really impressive, in my opinion, man. That's a
Thanks, man.
lot of
Thanks.
casting.
Yeah, yeah, man. It was. It was a lot of experimenting, a lot of playing around, and so that's from the Comic-Con in town, and it was kind of my goal to get into that. And when I set that as a goal, I didn't realize the applications had already closed. So
Okay.
I kind of harassed the team of people that set this up to the point where me and a few other people had kind of expanded it. And they opened it up into 2 different areas of this local arena now. So I
Hell
wanted to
yeah.
make sure I had like a table that really stood out, that had a ton of stuff, just a lot of selection. And I just wanted to come out just like swinging type deal.
Dude, these guys right here are unreal. The fucking little TMNT mushrooms that you got there.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
that's fucking cool, man.
Dude, those sold probably within the first 30 to 45 minutes of the event opening. That was
I
like
would
my
hope
first
so.
sale.
Dude,
Hell
that's a
yeah.
good looking table, man, with the prints in the background too. I like the organization too of the bagged. You got a lot of bags on there, dude. That's keeping that organized. That's a good idea. I've seen that before, where it's tried to get laid out, and sometimes it kind of gets, you get into the. You see people a lot of straighten those out a lot of the times, and then also sometimes you don't have that room for like a rack to go vertical, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but man, that's a nice looking table right there, dude.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Thanks. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
It
Mm.
seems right off the
Like you
hop
said,
too. You got really into bases for your figures as well, man. So
Yeah.
what are some of your inspirations? Let's hop right there.
A lot of inspirations come from like all over the place, kind of. I wouldn't say there's any like set place it comes from. A lot of like a lot of like 70s sci-fi and horror is where it's really starting to go. I think the bases and stuff like that just come from painting and doing like a whole sort of image as opposed to just like one character. I guess like a lot of times when I'm creating, say, like the tar pit character, I kind of had the idea, like being up here in Northern Ontario, the mining industry is massive. And a lot of it has to do with just sort of like the pollution and all of the stuff that comes with that. Like there's good, but there's also sort of the negative that comes with this sort of stuff. And the idea for that kind of came about just trying to think of a character, kind of like a kaiju based character almost, you know what I mean? Sort of a creature that is arose from, mankind's misdoings type deal. So I kind of had like a whole Alberta oil sands, like I don't know, Crumbs here from Canada. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, B, but up in Alberta, there's just this like sort of desolate wasteland that's known as the oil sands, and it's where a lot of crude oil comes from in Canada.
oh wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I kind of had the whole image in mind. So a lot of it comes like, maybe like a sketch or something like that. And then once I do the sketch, I kind of have a background already in mind. And I think it was like a random Christmas gift. Someone got me some like sculpty, putty sort of stuff, and I wanted to figure out something to do with that. And I never would have guessed I would have so much fun building the dioramas and stuff, but I think it kind of really brings the character and my whole idea to life without actually having to explain a whole lot. It still leaves a lot to the imagination and stuff too.
Oh, they're funky, man. And then adding in like those mosses and stuff that you have going on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Complete, so to speak.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I think that comes from like a sort of like comic book, like mixed media background. Like I love just using as much different stuff as I can when I'm creating something. Like when I'm drawing, I use pencils and pens and Sharpies and like nice inking pens next to like dollar store ones, charcoals and oil pastels. Like I'm all over the place.
Damn, man. And the shirt you're wearing right now, I don't know if everybody can see it.
Oh yeah,
is that
for sure.
your design?
Yeah, so this is one of the shirts I have here. This is the black one. This is based on a painting I did. I created that one, and I also have this white one here as well. You guys can see that.
You just froze for a second.
Oh,
sorry about that, man.
All good.
There we go.
There we go. So this is the white one I did. This is another piece, the noise conductor. And these I did, I think, 2 or 3 years ago now. I had done them. I was trying to get them done for a gallery showing I was doing up in Kapuskasing, and I just wanted to have something else, and it didn't end up happening in time. So I've been hanging on to quite a few of these for a while. And actually, that's like one of the things on the show tonight is I've got a bunch of different stuff that I'm throwing up on sale, kind of blowing out from last year and whatnot. The t-shirts I usually sell for $30, 25 if you're getting two. But right now, up until February 14th, the t-shirts, both in the black and white, I have sizes small to extra large, are going to be available 2 for $40. That's $40 Canadian too.
Fair, yeah.
Damn, that's like $3, dude.
Right, B. You don't know though, man. Like living up here, shipping sucks, dude. Shipping is,
dude. Yeah, I bet.
Oh man, like crumbs. I don't know what it's like for you. And where are you? You're in Toronto, you were saying, right?
Yeah. And you're in Timmins, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So like shipping up to Timmins is kind of crazy sometimes, even like when it's stuff within the country.
Oh yeah.
See, and that's just even. I find a lot of the Americans, they have pirate ship. It's like $5 for a lot of them to ship. Even if you or I were shipping, it's still going to be like $25, $30 between.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, what? I did not know they had that $5 for shipping. That's crazy, man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, even if I was shipping something small to you, crumbs, it would probably cost me like $18, $20, maybe even 25. Yeah.
Depending on the weight of it, or depending on what they end up. Because what's also funny too is you have to think. Every now and then in Canada, they're bastards. If they end up seeing it and they feel like it's not actually like a gift, suddenly when it arrives here, you're paying another 15 or 20. You've already paid the 15 or 20. Suddenly the post office just made $40 off of a $15 resin figure. You're like,
yeah. Oh man, it sucks. Sometimes it sucks. And not to mention in the winter time, the weather is just insane up here. Absolutely insane. I don't know if you've seen, but
the belt, you're getting hit way more than us because of where you are in like the snow belt. So
yeah, dude,
way worse.
Yeah, we got like 60 centimeters of snow last week or something crazy, like insane. Like I opened up my door and it was like waist deep snow at my door. Like I had to shovel to get out of my house.
I do not miss that. That was more of a North Bay thing, basically, where you'd have to basically like open the door, shovel your way out
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
fucking steps, and then you
yeah,
might as well just hop down the stairs into the driveway. And at that point, you're basically like chest deep in snow, and you're
100%.
basically just shoveling from here until you can slowly make your way. Like you're actually digging a hole before. Anyway, this isn't toys.
Yeah.
But fuck, man. Can you still cast right now? Like you're doing all your casting in your home, of course. Are you
Yeah,
doing resin
so
right now?
I try and avoid, like, I learned that last year actually, with more so with the epoxy resin casting and stuff that's going for, long periods of time, like 24 hours and stuff. It's incredibly hard to temperature control. My house is a little older. The back room that I have all that stuff in is kind of an addition. So at times the temperature will fluctuate. I kind of do have a space heater in there, but I really don't like leaving that thing running during the day. So it's just kind of, right now it's a little harder with that stuff, but yeah, I make do. I make do when it's nice out. I get right at it.
We were talking about the shipping just a minute ago. Is that something that you've come across as an issue as far as toys go? I mean, it looks like a lot of the toys that you're selling are at kind of local shows, and so. But is that? I mean, do you have a big? I don't want to say a big, but do you have like an international market where you're running into shipping issues or anything like that
No,
currently?
no, and I didn't even really bother at first trying to reach out to any sort of international market for that reason. So I wanted to
Yeah.
try and get enough stuff sold locally and whatnot. There are things like anything that's sold abroad is usually someone here in town buying it for someone and then bringing it or doing the shipping themselves. I've kind of lucked out, but I'm able to kind of bring the prices down a bit more now, and I think that's going to help a bit now that I am trying to reach out to more of like an international community or even just shipping within here in Canada and stuff. Because really, I'm pretty far from a lot of conventions and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. God, I don't know that area, Crumbs. You would know way better than I do. But how many shows? I mean, it's only been a year. Like you said, we're just coming up on the 1 year anniversary. But just by the look at it, like that table that we just saw, when was that? Like, how far were you into it when you had that?
That would have been 4 months into it at that point. That was the Comic Con in town. That was the Comic Con in town. So I really, about a month or two before I started doing it, though, I like even a bit before that, there was a lot of interest, a lot of watching YouTube videos and stuff. The
Mhm.
Craftsman is just,
Yeah,
I stumbled across his videos and it was just like, wow, that's, I love that guy. And
yeah.
so I started to just pay attention to those things, and I was kind of already learning before I even really started. You know what I mean? I was kind of studying up before I even got any of the supplies or bothered to invest any time into it. So I kind of had I wouldn't say a foot in the door, but like I kind of had that door open a bit and was like peeking in type deal or like kind of listening type thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
The intrigue was building.
Yeah. Yeah. I, it, it's a lot of things, really. I like I said, the mixed media thing. I just think like once I started doing it, I realized like, wow, this is like kind of like an ultimate form of that like art form. Like, there's so many things you can do, and then once you made that figure, the packaging and everything, and coming up with starting to come up with my own stickers and stuff as well to go with it. Like, I was kind of just doing random artwork stickers at first, but now as I'm designing these different toys I have coming out in the future and stuff, I'm really working on possibly even t-shirts and stuff like that too. So like it was just the whole crafting aspect of it in general, I guess. Yeah.
And what I think is cool for you too, man. I mean, like, I think individually, your stuff is all super, super good on its own, but you do have that ability to combine stuff, like you just said, with the stickers and then putting them with the toys. What about doing like any sort of, like backers? Are you doing carded figures right now? I saw a lot of bag stuff, but is there anything for like doing any sort of prints or like custom backers?
Yeah, I'm starting to work on that a little bit more. That was something that I just kind of got into probably back in October of last year, maybe September, was just messing around with pressing different things like the trading cards and stuff was something I really would wanted to do.
Mm.
I thought that would be a cool, different little thing too to kind of set me apart with that stuff. And the trading cards are really big up here, actually. Like trading card scene for Pokemon, Magic, and all that stuff is like massive up here.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I was just talking to a friend of mine, and I didn't realize that over the last few years, him and his son have been collecting cards, and he starts throwing out some prices at me, and I'm just like, bro, are you shitting me right now?
It's
That's
crazy.
it's insane, dude. It is absolutely insane.
Yeah, so I'm not like too big on the pricing and everything. I didn't know a whole lot about that till I did this trading card convention back in November. They were gracious enough to let me in. I think I was the only person there not selling Pokemon or Magic cards. I was doing my own thing, but they thought that was really cool. They thought that was super cool. They let me do that. I sold a few packs. So I was really happy about that. But I realized not just the pricing on some of that stuff, but like, man, people show up and like they're after that specific thing, and it's like a hunt. It's like a hunt. It's cool. So it's
Oh,
cool.
for sure, man. For sure. Yeah,
Cool.
it's big business right now. What are we looking at here, Crumbs, dude? This is sick, man. We have got, I mean, like as I was saying before, man, as you start scrolling through your stuff, it's God, dude. What's interesting too, it's like it seems like you have a run of a certain kind of art, and then
Mhm.
it switches up and you see something a little bit different. There's a few rows of that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
like
I kind of bounce around wherever the inspiration's at the moment, you know. That's I like having all those different outlets. It's fun, like where you know, if I'm busy pressing cards and stuff and just doing that. I was doing that for a while and it's just started to get really tedious at one point because there's a lot when you're at home, there's definitely a lot of mistakes, a lot of learning curves and stuff like that. And again, like you guys were saying with the temperature, even coming into the fall, the temperature changes when that starts happening, that dry, cold air we get up here. Those cards were starting to buckle and fold on me and all sorts of different things. So
mm, mm.
there's a lot of noodling around with that stuff and trying to figure things out. And with any of those, so it's always nice when I can kind of take a break and like, okay, I'm gonna pick up this thing now. I'm gonna sculpt this figure or kind of maybe work on a sketch for something else. And I kind of get into these sort of tandems of working on one thing and really pumping it out, and then like, okay, now I'm gonna shift gears a bit.
Yeah, Crumbs, when we I don't know if you scrolled the account, but did you see the Swamp Thing? There was a Swamp Thing piece
The
of
illustration.
artwork. Yes.
Oh yeah, of course I ended up seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
If
But
anything,
that's
your tar man has. I refer to this as like the wishbone. So typically like bootlegs of swamp things. If we look carefully, then you can trace it through. There's like this one like wishbone piece that almost always shows up.
Yeah,
And as soon as
yeah.
I saw your tar man or tar pit figure, sorry, it's hard not to have that moment of like, oh,
Yeah, for sure. Man Thing as well. So Man Thing is sort of the Marvel counterpart to
version.
Swamp Thing, right? And Man Thing's
Yeah.
actually slightly older than Swamp Thing, and they're actually both based on a comic book character called It, if I'm
Yeah.
correct.
So
oh man,
and
we
what's
got
even
two
funny
Swamp
is
Thing guys going at it. Oh my god.
those two dudes, they almost agreed to be okay with each other taking their
Yeah,
own version of it. There
yeah,
was no
yeah.
animosity or aggression of kind of like you stole my swamp thing or you stole my man thing. It was very
No,
much kind of like,
no.
hey, dude, you know, we both have this idea, we both have this vision of it. You go ahead, take it, man, run with it. I want to see you be successful with Marvel, and I'm gonna take mine and be successful with it as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
dude.
funny you know that, Crumbs, because that was kind of my thinking with the Tar Thing character, kind of an homage to those comic book characters I love so much. I was like, you know, there was no animosity there. Maybe if I create this character as a sort of homage to them, a similar sort of thing, I guess there shouldn't really be any animosity towards me either, right? Like,
Bam. Well, honestly, I think a lot of the times it's more of like you're paying respect to, you're
yeah,
inspired by. That's a lot
yeah,
different for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Fuck, dude. And like your artwork stuff is great as well. Like,
Thanks, man.
I,
Thanks.
no wonder you have a hard time deciding where to kind of put your focus when you've been doing so much art for so long.
And even so the painting and the sketching and stuff, even I've been at that really. It's only been about 5-6 years.
Oh,
For the most part, music and stuff was a big focus for me for many years, and I played drums in a lot of different groups and
Galactus right
stuff.
there was sick.
And I really only started doing a lot of this stuff just kind of pre-COVID. It was just kind of a side thing, at
Yep.
night and whatnot, and it just grew and grew. More of a passion, man, than anything. I love comic books. Always have. It's always been something. I've always kept a few of my old comic books from childhood and stuff. And every now and then I'll see something, and it's like, yeah. Sometimes it's just the artwork too. Sometimes it's as simple as like the cover or the inner art and stuff, the inking or whatever it might be.
I think that's what's so sick with a lot of your card art, your backer art that you're doing. It reminds me of almost, I don't necessarily want to say Dave McKean, but like that Vertigo style, that like mixed media, as you keep on saying, very slapped together, very punky.
Yeah.
It's
Punk
sick,
rock.
man.
Punk rock,
like your
for sure.
colors are right on point, obviously.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Now, are you casting with a pressure pot, or are you doing a lot of this no pressure pot?
No pressure pot. No pressure pot.
Yeah.
I had a small one. I did have a small one in the beginning, a cheaper one on Amazon when I didn't really know what I was doing, and I just I put that thing through the ringer, man, and it just it pooched out on me pretty quick. And I didn't have one, and I just kind of started taking my time with a few other things. And I have a vacuum chamber here I'll use sometimes, depending on how it's looking and the temperature and stuff. But patience, man. It's patience. It's and that's one thing for me. I would like to be able to do that stuff a lot more, but sometimes, yeah, weather pending and stuff, and even just getting supplies up here from time to time, it's hard. Luckily I found a place down in Toronto. I think it's the Etobicoke area or something like that. Sculptor Supplies, and that's where I've been getting my silicone and resin and all that stuff.
And dude, anytime I've been in there, I don't know what it is. It's probably the like fucking nerd in me that Pope Toy is saying, but there's sample clips. I want one of those fucking things.
No, I've never seen it.
I don't know what's so appealing about it. I don't know why it's so titillating, but they've got like on a fucking like binder ring or like on a keychain ring, they'll have all the different resins that you can buy from them. And they have almost like this like sea stone puck that is basically of like, this will be like this one. And so that way, if you're looking to buy your resins, you can actually like go through the sampler and kind of feel the resin and be like, oh yeah, okay, if this one, it'll say on the back which one it is. So that way the swashes, I don't know what it is, but it'd be so titillating to have one of those rings with one of the fucking like 10 stupid resin types they offer. Just because then when people are even talking to you about like, oh yeah, for this toy, the body I did it, you can literally just feel it like, yeah, that's what you use for the body, Like,
yeah, it's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. A lot of people ask me like what it is. That's like when I'm doing any conventions or anything up here, I think it's so rare that someone's making their own toys. A lot of people right away, they're like, can I touch that? Like, what is it, hard? Is it soft? I can't tell if it's rubbery. Like, there's yeah.
I'm sure you get asked quite often if it's a 3D print as well.
Yeah, a lot. There are a few people that 3D print some stuff up here. It's more like, I don't want to say it's like generic, but it is more of like just things I'm assuming you can download from some site and print out, because they all kind of look the same, the axolotls and stuff like that, and certain little like dragon characters and stuff. But I don't really I would like to. I would like to meet someone or know if there's anyone out there watching or listening or anything, and you're up in Northern Ontario, hit me up because I've yet to meet anyone else that I can sit and chill with and talk about this stuff.
I was gonna say Timmins is actually still pretty far from Toronto, man.
It's really far. It's really,
Yeah.
really far. It's
Like when
really,
you
really.
mentioned you found a place in Etobicoke, my brain, I'm like, well, that's great and all, but like, that's not really next door. Like a
No, dude. I've never been in the store itself. I've never been in the store. It's like Toronto's like 8-9 hour drive from here.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I wanted to say 8, and I was like, might not be. And it's like, yeah, okay, absolutely.
Like wintertime, you're probably looking at closer to 9. Like summer, really nice weather. Yeah, it's probably like 8. It's probably like 8. Yeah, it's a trek. It's a trek, man, to get down there for sure.
Brutal, dude.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that being the case, man, with you kind of being out there, how many, and you've only been doing it for a year now, but if the shows are kind of few and far in between the the in-person shows, what's kind of your focus going forward as far as getting your stuff out there? Is it going to be like a hard online push? I saw some of your stuff. Was it I were you do you have stuff on Facebook? Or was there a reference to something that you were selling on Facebook? But just kind of going forward, man, what's going to be kind of your focus as far as getting your stuff out there?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking at. Like at the end of last year and the beginning of this year, it's nice to be on the show, just kind of right off the hop. Beginning of the year helped me get out there a little more in the digital world for sure. I'm like, there's gonna have to be a lot of a push for that because I mean, there's just really not a whole lot of conventions up here in Timmins. There's a few different things. Like I said, there was a trading card show that a couple locals kind of put together, and I think that's going to be like an annual thing. And we have a comic convention. We have little markets and stuff around town, things like that. The one thing that's nice is being up here, people do appreciate like handmade things. Like I do a lot better with my paintings and my prints and stuff, obviously, at a lot of the local markets and events in town. But it's still nice that they appreciate like the actual work you put in. And what I get a lot too is like a lot of people assume it's a lot of digital art, and everything's done by hand. Everything's sketched out by hand. Traditional pencil, paper, pens. I don't. I would like to get into the digital world a little more with the drawing and stuff, and maybe even at some point, maybe even experimenting or messing around with 3D printing and stuff like that, or even sculpting digitally. But it is a lot cheaper at the moment, and it's nice too. I like it, man. I like it. It's at the end of the day, I can sit down, have a coffee, chill, sit and sculpt, whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm hoping to do a bit more of a push online. I'm hoping to get down to Toronto to do a few more conventions and stuff. Toronto Toy Riot. I'm hoping to get down there for that.
Sweet.
Definitely trying to set aside some money. So I'm hoping for a little bit of a push in sales with stuff at the beginning of the year. So it's nice to be on here nice and early for sure. I got a few deals and stuff I got going on, like the t-shirts, 2 for $40. That being said, I got the 8x11 frame prints. A lot of the stuff you guys are looking at, well, really any of the stuff you guys are looking at on my Instagram page, I have frame prints of, and those are 2 for $40 right now.
And they're already framed?
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. I don't know how many. I was just going through a bunch of stuff, man. I need about 6 dozen frames. I swear to God, dude, there is so many, and it's stuff that and maybe you can even, maybe this is even another question too, man. But sometimes the stuff comes with prints that maybe weren't even necessarily meant to be framed, but you're looking at it as someone who just collects and someone who's not making that stuff, and you're just like, damn, that was dope, dude. One of the one that I was looking at, Crumbs, you'll know this one, man. It was the Bone Reaver that DNS and Phantom Lake did a couple years ago. Dude, that one has, so not only is that a carded figure, and it's a hand sculpted articulated figure from DNS. But the extras that it came with, I found this little pack that came with it today, and it was just, I thought it was a comic book, but you open it up and it's like this dope ass print.
Nice.
Do you ever like take into consideration that like the stuff that your prints are super dope, man, and like
Thanks, man.
that people would be, you know, keeping other parts of like your packaging as art, as opposed to just like the figure itself, because I think a lot of the sometimes the artwork is the backer, you know.
Yeah, so like the latest figures that I did, so the Tar Pit, the Elder Bot, and the Guardian, those all come with the card backs. And I actually found a nice plastic that has the open top, so you can take it out if you want to display it out. You can put it back in type deal. Also the basket case balls that I dropped, I think just before the end of last year. Those I also started doing card back. Got some pretty crazy art on those. I don't know. I think I got. Yeah, I don't have one right around me right now, but
This is smart.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
You're gluing these boxes to the card back, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking smart, man.
Yeah.
With the pop-up
Spraying on adhesive. And I actually just got a hole punch a little while back too, like the T-shaped hole punch. So it's nice. It actually gives it a cool little. I'm always looking for those little sort of things that like no one else is noticing this. You know what I mean? No one else is really noticing this, but like maybe us type deal.
It's funny, dude. That and like the corner cutters, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly. Exactly. Because
Rainbow Yawn, he'll be going nuts on this huge figure, like handmade fucking blisters and everything.
Oh, it's nuts.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. It's like, but it's the icing on top. It's what we've seen, right? It makes it feel complete at the end.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And it's kind of similar to like what B was just saying with putting the prints in a frame. Sometimes it changes it. There's, it's not really changing a whole lot, just putting the glass and maybe trimming just the slightest bit off of that print, but it does kind of take something away. And the same deal, like as soon as I did the trim on the corners, I was like, yeah, that's kind of, I like that. Because so those I hadn't trimmed. Those are just straight up. And most of the stuff I do too, I try and recycle as much stuff as I can. You know what I mean? With just cost of things and stuff. So a lot of that's cereal boxes and whatever snacks for the kid and stuff that we keep. I've just got stacks of boxes. Yeah.
That's actually fucking smart. Okay, so if you're saying that, are you printing off these and spray adhering them to those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then pressing, and then I usually press them for 12 to 24 hours, the same way I do the cards, and that seems to be holding so far. But they are fairly new. I haven't really seen anything, and like I was saying, I got like pretty extreme temperature changes here from dry to moist, hot, cold days and stuff. And I haven't really seen too much of it peeling yet, especially with the small cards. So that's good. I think what I'm doing has worked finally. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, like, is working finally. Has it been quite a trial and error to find stuff to make that work, given all that? The environmental conditions?
There's enough of it. Sometimes I luck out, but a lot of the stuff with the spray on adhesives and whatnot, it took me a while to find one that was good, that held, and also one that didn't kind of wrinkle or kind of seep through the print or anything like that. You know what I mean? Because even when I would do like a light coat, it would still I finally found one that works good, and I'm able to actually spray the card back, so the cardboard itself, and then the print, and that seems to help when I'm pressing to hold everything together nice and neat.
Fuck, man, it's quite the process getting it from beginning to end just the way you like, eh?
Yeah, it's fun though. I love it, man. I love it.
No, honestly, today I couldn't help but notice, and I think he's been up there for a bit. You've got that one elder bot that's actually electroplated. Like the one that's like the patina. Is that one electroplated or is it just paint style
No,
that?
no,
Okay, okay.
no.
I was so
So
curious about that one.
what's funny is I watched the episode obviously with Zima, and my girlfriend was watching it with me, and she's just kind of looking over at me as we're watching the instructional video, and she's just like shaking her head like, no.
Don't do it.
Like, no,
Yeah, no
you're
shit.
not putting an eternal acid bath in one of our bedrooms, you know? So at the moment, it is something I think eventually I would like to try. I'm not sure if I will be able to convince her that it's a good idea. But in the meantime, I just wanted to try and paint something with that color effect. Yeah. I
Well, I
did
mean,
find.
obviously you're nailing it.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Oh, dude.
That's a cool looking figure, man. I like that one.
Yeah, it worked out
Thanks.
well.
Thanks, man.
Are you sculpting those dudes from scratch?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
usually like I've got these little army men figures I've been using from the dollar store, and I'm sculpting over top of those. You just kind of using those as an armature, basically, and they're I think they're 3.75 scale, somewhere in that area. It's dollar store, and also the Canadian measurement might be a little off, you know.
Damn, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, some inexpensive bucks.
yeah.
Fuck,
Just
man.
and also just finding armature wire and stuff like that up here is tough, man. There isn't really there's a couple of there's a nice little crafting store actually just down the road from me, because I'm actually not inside of Timmins. I'm like 15-20 minutes outside of Timmins. I'm not far enough in the middle of nowhere. I'm actually a few minutes like down the road from that. And it's nice. That's a hobby shop more for people who are into like Warhammer and stuff like that, and the miniatures. So there is a bit of like I can get my green stuff there and a few different paints and stuff. That's really nice. But as far as sculpting supplies, there's a lady more into the Timmins downtown area. She has an art store, and she started carrying some of that stuff. So some of the earlier ones I was doing, I was actually using just like DOS clay and just really cheap clays that she had that were more for beginners, and I was struggling. I was struggling. I was at a point where I just about gave up on it, type deal. Just the temperature. I didn't realize the temperature thing though in the beginning either. So I was getting like crazy, like they were cracking at night on me and stuff, and I had no idea what to do. I was doing so much research. I had bought like shellac to kind of coat the outsides of them and stuff to kind of prevent the cracking in that. Like there was, and also to not add something to it with a chemical I didn't know. You know what I mean? Once I go to cast or anything like that, I didn't, there was so much. But anyway, I finally got myself some monster clay. I think it was kind of summertime last year, and I love it. Immediately, I was just like, oh my God, this is awesome. This is awesome.
Let me ask you something, man. I mean, with so many different mediums that you're doing, I mean, you've talked about a lot of the struggles in some of them a lot tonight. Temperature being one of them, being able to get stuff, kind of trying to resource materials. Um, what is it about that where, because we talk to a lot of people, and I don't want to say a lot of people give up, but you can tell where that frustration starts to kick in, especially when you go through all of it and then you deal with stuff like shipping. um Yours, it just seems like you're just kind of plugging away, and if you look through your profile, like we said before, you kind of see these different mediums, and then it's a chunk there for a while, then it goes to a different one, a chunk for a while. Do you think that toys is going to be the same way for you? Or kind of this period, like say in a year when we scroll through your page, do you think the toy section is just going to be another chunk of time for you before you progress into something else? Or you think you're going to stick with this and try to progress this into something else?
No, I think I'm going to stick with this and progress this. I really, really enjoy it. I enjoy it so
Yeah.
much because there's so many different things. Like you guys were saying, like I can implement the painting and the drawing and stuff with the card backs, and there's just so many different things with this that I can do. I don't see myself really stopping, progressing for sure. I haven't really tried anything with articulation, and that's something this year I'm hoping mess around with. I really like the vintage stuff. Like I really like old school, like the Star Wars and like the old Marvel and the Kenner stuff. That's like the 3.75, 4 inch, just like the articulation in the legs and arms and maybe the head type deal. I love the newer stuff, like the real, like, you know, it's got like 3,000 points of articulation on it and stuff, but I don't see myself attempting anything like that anytime soon. But it'd be cool to just to mess around, even maybe with some interchangeable heads and faces and stuff like that, and maybe a little articulation in the arms and the legs. So I see myself kind of progressing over this year, kind of moving towards that for sure.
Yeah, you mentioned before, you know, kind of taking some notes before you jumped into doing some of the making. Um, when you come across something like articulation, where you're saying you're wanting to jump into it, what kind of, you know, research that you do? Is that kind of just something that you're trying to do on your own and just see what works, and if it doesn't work, go to something else, or is there something that you're going to for reference and taking notes, whether it be other makers or YouTube videos, or what kind of research are you putting into that, if any at all?
Definitely a lot of research on the YouTube end for sure. There's the trial and error. There's definitely the trial and error. The craftsman, man, the craftsman. Like he
Yeah.
literally has a video. He literally has a video where it's just articulation, and I think he gets into all sorts of different things with magnets and all sorts of stuff. Like, you know, that's he's
Yeah.
been just a resource of knowledge. It's awesome. I love it. And his videos are so quirky and everything too. That's I love his videos, and there's always something new. He's always doing and introducing these different things. Last year he kind of went off on that Safubi sort of thing, and man, that's even something at some point down the road, maybe in the next few years or something, I would like to attempt. But again, with the temperature and stuff, I don't know yet. I haven't done enough research into it and stuff, but I don't really see myself stopping making toys and stuff. I kind of see it progressing. The characters I've been creating, I've been kind of working on a whole world, a whole, you know, lore with each character, and even different ways of interconnecting them and stuff. The next wave of characters that I'm kind of planning on releasing, like I have a few that I want to do here in the winter, but there's a line that I want to do around the Comic-Con and Toronto Toy Riot that I'm going to drop. That's kind of like villains almost to my Tar Pit character and Elderbot and the Guardian and stuff. So I see expansion as opposed to it just kind of being another thing that goes a bit to the wayside, or is just a thing that I kind of cycle back and forth through. Now the trading cards, that might be something where, you know, might be you know, an annual sort of once or twice a year. I might kind of hammer out a few different cards and stuff, but I don't really see myself keeping up with that. That was just kind of a fun thing to try, and it didn't go horrible. I sold pretty much most of the packs that I did. I still have a bunch of loose ones and stuff, but it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work, and to try and get that price point down and stuff, it was tough. And I know you're obviously not really in this going to get your money back for your time necessarily, but yeah, that was a bit of a process, and that might be something that might be more one-offs, maybe just with the figures as I release them and stuff. Maybe, you know, like the figure sets and a few others within that realm or world. And one thing I would like to kind of like I've got the zine. I just posted that earlier tonight. So one thing I would like to kind of move forward on is comic books and stuff, actually. Zines.
Oh, nice. I like
Kind of
that.
this kind of a nice little way of advertising a few different things. The figures and stuff. I'm planning on just kind of giving these out, you know. There'll probably be a freebie at the conventions I do this year and stuff. I also have it right now. If you spend more than $30, if you're buying anything from me, you get one of those free. Throw one of those in.
Nice, damn, dude. So now we're getting into comic books too.
Yeah.
Um, you mentioned the homemade vinyl. Gosh, dude, that's something that I think both Crumbs and I are interested in. And we've been seeing a lot more of that. And then especially with Craftsman, um, doing getting into his own thing. I think that's, it really blew up and started saw more people get into it then. But that's another cool one, man. I could definitely see that being in your profile. And then just kind of scrolling and seeing it do that stuff, and then even taking some of your characters that you're developing, and then possibly making those into final. I think we have seen a lot of people do that, and that's always cool. Um,
Yeah,
but
so like I was thinking of looking. I do a lot of research beforehand, but I don't know if that's something I'll be attempting in the near future. But it might also be something I outsource. Maybe take one of my characters, like you're saying, and see if I can't get a small run of them done. But
sure,
right now, I'm having a lot of fun just with the resins and the different plastics and acrylics and stuff. I'm enjoying that.
yeah.
It's a lot cheaper. It's a lot easier.
One thing I wanted to ask you, about your articulation, man, or just kind of any process that you're researching, the ability to get materials and stuff like that, does that ever dictate kind of what you decide to go with as far as like if you were going to do articulation and you needed to get magnets or something was a little bit more scarce where you were, would that kind of steer you in a different direction? Or are you like, nah, I get Amazon and it doesn't really matter and I can just get whatever?
For the most part, like Amazon, I can usually end up finding it. Sometimes it can be a little tricky with certain things, but yeah, that does dictate sometimes, like even just the wait times on things, I can be a little impatient. And if I'm looking even on Amazon where it's like, oh, this might be, 3 weeks to a month, I'm like, well, let's see if we can figure something else out or try something else out.
Yeah.
So but like that's always I've always been like that with music, with everything. Like I kind of just whatever I've got type deal, like a very punk rock sort of mindset with that stuff, you know what I mean? Like you don't need the fanciest, nicest things to create art and to make things. So I just kind of go with the flow sometimes, and a lot of it's just trial and error, like I was saying, and figuring it out as I go.
Yeah.
Love that. And I know you're talking about making a lore for it. Pocket is actually asking if you have any playset ideas. Any ideas of having like a playset together, I suppose.
You know what's funny is actually, so my girlfriend's son, Isaac, he just brought that up to me the other day. He just kind of gets in the car. I was with him and his grandfather. He gets in the car and he's just like, Kevin, you know what I think you should make is a playset for your action figures. He's like 8 years old, right? Like just out of nowhere, he's just like, you know what you need? Playsets. I was like, damn, man, you're right. Right? I'm already thinking about it, but it's just like, yeah, man, like that's definitely something I'm slowly working on. Slowly working on that for sure. Because I already kind of do the dioramas and different things. So that'll be something possibly this year, possibly by the end of the year. I think I might try and have some different little play sets for the tar pit figure and stuff, because I'm just kind of working on expanding those characters right now, and I've got a few different ideas. I got a few things in the works for sure. Like I said, I'm already working on sculpting. I got actually I'll show you guys right now. This is the Slime Lord. This is the newest guy I've been working on. Been slowly chipping away at that, and he's kind of going to be the villain to Tar Pit. Sort of evil oil baron transforms into this greasy slime lord.
Oh, there's some good movement in that sculpt, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Thanks. And I've got the little scuzz to go with them.
Now with these guys here, and you might have actually just said, is that plastiline or are you using a monster clay still, or is that epoxy sculpt?
Monster clay.
Monster clay, nice.
Yeah. I love that stuff, man. That's what I've been going with probably the last few months. Pretty much since like the summertime, yeah.
That's the go-to now.
Yeah,
There.
yeah. I do have some other stuff. I have some alien clay and a couple of other things that I bought right around the same time, and I just haven't even tried it out yet, to be honest. So that's something I'm going to get into. But it was just like when I started with the monster clay, I loved it. I loved it, and the one thing that's nice about being up here with the temperature and it cooling off, I never really have to worry about things kind of shifting on me from the heat or anything or the humidity. So that's one positive about working with that stuff. But you definitely have to you really got to put it through the microwave or something to soften it up first when you're up here. It's a solid brick, obviously anywhere, but yeah, it's pretty chilly up here.
Noted, man. Well, Kevy Cold Cuts, I know we've had you on for almost about an hour now, dude. Before we kick you out of here, is there anything else you want to get out there? Tell the homies.
So I got the t-shirts. They're 2 for $40 right now. Got the black and the white, like I was showing you guys. They're also on my Instagram page. I've got the 8x10 framed art prints right now. They're 2 for $40 as well. My Elderbot, Tar Pit, and Guardian figures are $5 off. And what else do I have here? Oh yeah, also the zines, right? The zine. Right now, any purchases over $30, I'm throwing in the zine. I'm also throwing in one of my stickers. I usually have sticker packs and stuff in there, but I got a couple of these big ones that are kicking around in overstock. I'm throwing in one of those, and also got a bunch of these magnets left over from some of the markets and stuff I was doing at Christmas time. So any purchases over $30 right now, you're getting a free zine, sticker, and magnet.
And if anybody wanted to just grab, even just buy the zine or buy a magnet or stickers from you, is that stuff they can just DM you about as well?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, just DM me. I can work out a price. I mean, if you wanted to get, say, a sticker, I usually charge $3 for it. You know what I mean? The magnets are usually $7, or I do 2 for $10. The zine, I hadn't even really thought of a price yet, man. I wanted to keep it as cheap as possible and kind of make it like a freebie. But yeah, if someone just wanted to buy the zine, for sure, I'd hook you up. I'd probably just charge you for the shipping, to be honest, on the zine, if that's all you really wanted. Just to get it out there, just to get the name out there, just like you guys were trying to say. What am I doing this year? It's just trying to pump my name out there as much as I can.
Absolutely, man. And all those prices, remember, those were all Canadian prices.
Yes, these are all Canadian prices at that, boys.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
Right. So in the States, almost free.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually, so if you buy something, I actually owe you money.
Yeah. Oh man, totally, dude. That was a great interview for the first one of the year. Super excited to see where the toy making goes, man. Hopefully, I'll see you in Toronto in May. That would be really cool. But dude, good luck on getting the stuff out there. There is just a plethora of stuff. I encourage people not to just repost your toy work, but some of your other work too, because that's
Thanks,
all
man.
part of the
Thanks.
scene as well, man. It's really cool stuff. If people want to have a good time and just kind of scroll your profile there, you're bound to find something that you like. Really good sales right now. 2 for $40 on the t-shirts, 2 for $40 on the 8x10 framed prints. Canadian prices.
Yep.
Nice. Take a look,
Yep.
everybody. Very nice.
Awesome, guys. I really appreciate it. Honored to be the first guest of the year. It's awesome. I'm a new fan to the show, so thanks, guys. Thanks. I really appreciate it.
You got it, man.
Thanks for coming on, dude. It was so hard.
I
know I was trying to. I'm like, well, they're new. Maybe they don't know that I'm a dick, and I just kick people out the moment they start talking nice. So I let them talk nice for a second, but then it started getting all. I'm like, oh no, you can't say nice things. We're ass wipes. Yeah, no, I was a nice dude, man.
Yeah, Pocket Salsa, that would have been a good question. Expectations of the toy scene. Dude.
Hey, Kevy, before you go home completely there, caught you right in the middle of taking a breath. What are your expectations of the toy scene? What are your expectations of the toy scene?
What are my expectations of the toy scene? Like, what am I expecting of the toy scene? Just keep hopes. My hopes are that it kind of expands a little further north. That like a few more people up here get into it, or you guys come up this way and some more conventions and stuff. Maybe even the North Bay area, like you were saying, Crumbs, where you're from, Sudbury. Like just to see more stuff. My hopes and my expectations would be just to see more people get into this in random different spots all over the world and shit, dude. Seriously, I love stumbling across new artists, new art. I found a bunch of new stuff watching your guys. It's amazing. It's amazing out there.
Sweet, great answer. Bam.
There you go, Pocket. So sorry about that, by the way. Didn't mean to toss you in there like that. But yeah, that was a good answer for that.
Good answer, dude. What a great fucking dude. Holy shit, man.
You know, and I would just to all the homies, like dudes, if you come in, that's an example of like it's no rip on anybody, but when we bring you in, especially if you're like, guys, I want to come in, I've got a drop coming in soon. If we bring you in and then you're just like, yeah, no, mixers. Yeah, yeah. No, they give us something, man. Homeboy fucking brought it tonight. I like that, dude. The more
Dude,
you're willing to talk about yourself and your work and be happy about shit, the easier it is. Fuck yeah, man.
it's got a lot to talk about, man. I mean, that profile, holy shit, dude. I mean, I think you could probably do a really long segment on each different medium that he works in. Like I said, man, the artwork, the 8x10 framed prints, dude. Framed, that's a good deal, dude, because it's, buying a frame for stuff and then actually, hanging it up. That's part of the fucking problem, right? But dude,
And still some of the loose trading cards, because even that, dude, I feel like there are certain artists in our scene that they will actually trade sticker packs amongst each other. Like they've got groups where they'll all talk about who wants to send a sticker pack, and then basically everybody makes a bundle, right? If I send my sticker to you and you send a sticker to me and you send, next thing you know, you all are getting these sticker buildups. I know there was from the WWF show, there was a bunch of trading cards with that. I know Death Scream Anima Donut sometimes does the little cards with their
hmm
pieces. There's a couple dudes in the scene that actually do little pieces with their pieces. So
yeah,
yeah, you could probably even get those out there doing that. And Pocket,
yeah,
I don't know why you know about the Sudbury Wolves or why you pay attention to OHL at all, but yes.
damn. Never even heard of them. What is that? What's Sudbury Wolves?
Well, unless they're talking about like a different type of team, it makes me think instantly of the Ontario Hockey League team, the OHL team. And I'm like, what
Oh,
the
okay.
fuck, man? Those are a bunch of, oh, now I get it. It's because it's a bunch of like 16, 17-year-old boys. That's why Pocket Salsa knows
Mm,
about them.
mm. Oh man. Kevy Cold Cuts, dude. That was a good one, man. Super talented dude. Um, and really curious about like you say, just getting into articulation. I'm curious to see where that goes, and what he actually uses. Um,
I can't believe we should have asked about it. I can't believe we didn't bring it up. But that art show that they were doing previously too, it was called the Synesthesia Show. Are you familiar with what that is?
no, I mean the show
Yeah.
itself. I saw that thing and then kind of followed some
Yeah.
links, and it's got its own site, or its own account actually. But I just kind of looked through it a little bit. But as far as what that is,
As a whole.
actually, no, I don't.
So synesthesia, if I'm not mistaken, and somebody correct me if you have the more like proper terms, but basically it's when you hear music and stuff, you can essentially see certain colors. You don't necessarily
Mm,
just hear it in your brain. There's a certain condition where with certain some of these people, their brain almost associates certain color patterns to certain sounds and music, and so they can basically see music.
yeah,
And so yeah, awareness of synesthetic perceptions and art. So now I'm wondering if it has anything to do with that. Um,
there you go. That was the
bam.
name of the show. Yeah, nice. Yeah, and you can find a link to that. If you guys are curious about that, you just dig back in the profile, and you'll see a link to that in there. So,
Yeah, fun
um,
artist, man. Drummer, painter, sculptor.
yeah,
I wouldn't even be surprised if it turned out that they not only sewed all those shirts, but they also sat there threading the shirts as well.
those shirts are dope, man. I like those.
They were
I'm
shit
definitely going
sharp.
to be. Yeah, I'm gonna be taking a trip over there to that shop, man. That's a killer deal that he's got going there for sure. Nice. All right. So what's next, buddy? What you want to do
Well,
next? We got
I
tabby
want
doos,
to.
we got pieces, we got a box for you. What's going on, man?
I kind of want to see some of the stuff you've got, especially since
Okay.
I have been so curious since the start of the episode. You've got like a table beside you that I haven't seen normally before that looks like it's got something green and slimy or something on there. I'm just very curious.
Oh man, yeah. So that's just like a little side table that I can move around. But oh, I see the one that you're looking at. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, let me get my notes. All right.
Oh
So
gosh.
we'll do Zimico first, but this is the one that you were looking at, dude. This thing's a beast right here. So this one is called the Infant Jesus of Prague, Unjust Past, and this one it's a wall hanger. So it's got the wall hanger on the back. But dude, look at that thing. It is an absolute monster.
Wow.
Set. Yeah, dude. Ooh. It is so fucking. Oh, dude, it's so
From
fucking
the
rare.
back, I had no expectation that it was going to be greens and yellows in the front.
Yeah,
Damn, that thing is sharp.
yeah. Really cool, man. So I'm not sure where I'm gonna hang that yet, but definitely somewhere. Super fucking cool.
That thing's
And this
got to
thing,
be so heavy.
oh my, I was just gonna say, I don't know what the official weight on it is, but it's a big boy. It's a big one. Mm, yeah.
Damn, that's beautiful. And for any artist out there, like I'm not saying like set your expectation to be that disciplined, but I think that Zimico is honestly probably like the role model of drive, dude. Like I don't know how they find all the time. Like it doesn't matter how many times we bring them on. I don't know how they find the time to cast and sand and fucking do little eyeballs on pieces and teeth on people and put the back hanger on that thing. And I
Yeah.
don't get it.
Yeah, man, it's and like we always talk about the variety in the store there is just insane. This one right here is Cherub Slippers Kid. This one is one of the copper plated pieces that we've been talking about.
Oh,
Yeah, dude. God dang.
that's a fun one. They were even talking about that one. They showed that on the show, did they not?
Yes.
Ah,
Yep. But that's one of the some of the copper plated stuff that we've been talking about. Super cool. This one here is uh, Guardian Angel copper plated protected. It's another
you
copper
know,
plate.
they were saying it on the show, but when you consider for a second the resin that goes into those pieces, the time into those pieces, the cost of the paint that they have to use to do them, and then on top of that, the cost of the different oxidizing solutions, like that thing must have like 3 or 4 different types of chemicals on there.
Yeah, super sick. And then this one is Personal Jesus copper plated personality. Bam. Well, I noticed too, man. I think every Zymot piece that I have is signed at the on the bottom like that. Just an artist name and year. And if you've seen DKE, sometimes he'll put out those posts or reels, and he's trying to identify pieces because there's no name or initial or stamp or year or anything. So just a little signature and a year. That's all you
Even that,
need.
it's like anybody else is laying in bed, they're flipping through their phone or they're clicking through the channels. Not Zymico. They have a nightstand table of all the pieces they made that day and a little fucking glitter sharpie, and they're just signing every piece and putting it aside
Yep,
and doing that till they fall asleep. Apparently,
that's it. That's all the Zymot stuff. There's actually more, but we'll save that for another day when we're looking at more resin stuff instead of the copper stuff from them. But yeah, man, could be in there all day in that shop. I'll tell you what, from the the amount of stuff that they have in there, but it's pretty amazing. The stuff is always looks way better in person. The copper plated stuff, man, like I said in the post, it looks really cool, like visually, but then when you hold it, you're like, man, it's even better. You know what I mean? It's
Well, and that's
like,
what he was saying, like the coldness, the
yeah,
feel to the touch. You
it feels like
can,
metal. It
yeah,
feels like you're holding
it
like
is.
this is all metal. Yeah.
It is.
Uh,
It's not cold casted. It's metal.
yeah, it's cool. Very, very
Oh,
nice.
man. He's a fucking talented artist, dude.
Yeah, you got that right, buddy.
Right? There you go.
For a
Slipshot
leaf
average.
idea. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. Yeah. That sounds interesting.
Right?
Um, you want to do another one?
Yeah, do another one. What you
Dude,
got?
okay. So let's do this one. Let's do this Bog Squad piece, man. So this one, first of all, here's the sticker that it came with. Sick. But this Bog Squad piece.
Ah, I was
Man.
very curious what you ended up scooping because Bog Squad's been dropping a couple different things right now, but oh man, that's fun.
Yeah, so this one is sculpted by Tom Hensley. And this was a Christmas drop, or maybe Christmas Eve, maybe Christmas Day. But there was green and red, and I snagged a green one. Um, the figure itself is called Antro, and that's short for Anthropophagus, which is a 1980 cannibalistic movie. I'm going to read the I'm going to read the definition that I had for it, man, because I was not going to remember all this. I have not seen this movie, but this is what it is. Anthropophagus has been described as having a noted place in the annals of escalation of gore. The film has gained cult status, if only amongst fringe horror video audiences. It has been argued that the reason for its cult status lies in the theme of cannibalism, hence consumption of humans, which lends itself to cult reception. Now, there's apparently a famous scene in this movie, which is here, the scene in which the titular man-eater strangles a pregnant woman, tears out the fetus from her womb, and bites into it, made it become one of the infamous video nasties that was prosecuted in the United Kingdom in the early 1980s, and the controversy greatly aided its cult reputation as well. So the other thing is I didn't know too much about that movie, actually zero about that movie, and couldn't find a lot of stuff just based on some of that research. But I looked in the if you look in the comments, somebody had commented saying, "Is that George Eastman?" Well, I didn't know who George Eastman was either. George Eastman, born Luigio Montefiore, was an Italian actor and screenwriter, best known for his role as the cannibalistic serial killer Klaus Wortmann in the 1980 Italian horror film, the one that we just talked about. That film was also called The Grim Reaper and The Savage Island. He co-wrote the screenplay, and then it says, kind of just goes into his other stuff. But yeah, sculpted by Tom Hensley. The movie is called Anthropophagus. Anthropophagus, 1980 movie is what that is. And the figure is called Antro. If you go back through Bog Squad's profile, you will see, you just kind of got to follow the trail. Look up George Eastman. That'll take you to exactly where you need to go. But this one I may leave in the package. Really cool header, as usual. Nice and bold, black backer. But bam, yeah, Tom Hensley on that one. The Bog Squad, nice.
I think I'm with Fletch. I'm gonna have to watch that movie now, man.
Yeah, it sounds crazy, man. And it's, and apparently I didn't know about that whole thing where there was it sounds like there was in the early 80s. It sounds very similar to the explicit content, musically stuff that went on, right?
It's probably around the same time as the comic code, where basically some dude ended up writing some book about like how children were becoming fucked up because of the amount of like media that was out there. Suddenly, even comic books, you couldn't have like the bad guys couldn't win anymore. You couldn't have witches, warlocks, fucking goblins. Just all this stuff got written out. It was dark times.
Dark times. Yeah, you got that right.
That's a fun piece by Bog Squad.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's besides the bog dweller, there's a couple other small resin pieces that I have from them. But if you take a look around online at some of the aftermarket stores, Vicious Fun, even just regular eBay, and look up Bog Squad, you'll find there's plenty of stuff out there, man. It's not if you're willing to pay for it, especially like the bog dwellers. But some of these other ones, man, $40-50.
Crazy.
Sometimes even less than that if you can find the right seller. But it's readily available stuff, so it is cool.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know if you ended up seeing these yet. It's right in front of me, and I keep on meaning to pull it up, so I just want to fucking share this. But we showed the prototype figure for it when Elixir Toys got these mushes in. And then I don't know if anybody saw, but this past week they were actually looking for artists to do a small batch 3-piece collab. But there was such a good response that now they're actually looking to be doing a release throughout the year several times with random artists.
Nice.
I'm kind of stoked on that, man. It means we're going to get some interesting Elixir toy pieces, and they've been pretty quiet this last year.
Yeah, so that's cool. I like that.
Right. Plus, it's just a beautiful sculpt. So far, the artwork for it looks fucking really cool. But the sculpt itself just looks gorgeous, man. I bet this will be a lot of fun to paint.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I like that.
And admittedly, just because if we're talking about painters and people that can paint that up, I don't know if you've seen this account. This one was kind of new for me. But I love whatever the fuck this masking is. I was even looking at it earlier today. I was hard enough to be like, is that just like...
Is this Mechavirus?
This is Mechavirus.
Yeah.
The fuck is with the... I like, guaranteed there's going to be somebody in the chat that's like, oh, silly crumbs. Those are just like little stickers you get from somewhere and you place them on and you peel them off. And I'm like, there's something cooler happening here.
Because I think it might be similar to the same... I think Kachina may do something like that as well. Maybe not in that same pattern.
Kachina's mask looks a little bit more like netting or meshing. And this mask looks almost like perforated paper or some kind of hole punched. But what's always crazy to me with anything that you're doing with a mask, like, it has to be taut to the material, right? Like, even if you're using a steel mask, that's kind of what makes it tough. It needs to be like nice and taut to the material, or else you're gonna get spray under it. It's no different than stencils and shit when you're a kid. And you gotta try and paint over the stencil, and all of a sudden it's leaking underneath the stencil, and it doesn't look anything like it. It's like, yeah, because... So when I look at some of this, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And if it is a bunch of little tiny, carefully applied sticker dots that they have to peel off afterwards, that's a fucking lot of work.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
With the dudes in this scene, what's tough is sometimes when I'm looking at stuff like that and I'm thinking about how fucking amazing it looks, I can tell that some of the dudes are just kind of like, Crumbs, bro, you're an idiot. That's nothing. I don't know if we talked about these a couple weeks ago too, the Figure Fiend pieces. They have these all now open for pre-order as well. Originally, they had it on their like Patreon page or Kickstarter page, but now pre-orders are open for all.
There you go.
Woot woot. There you go.
That's cool. I like that little set right there.
We looked at this actually the other day, and everything this company seems to make looks really fucking well done, dude.
Oh. Yes.
I don't know if they're outsourcing, if they're basically getting sculptors to do it and then outsourcing the production, I would assume, based on quality and doing like a Kickstarter run. But regardless, going all out.
Yeah. Slipshot, I agree. If someone said those were Super 7 reaction figures, I'd believe them. Yeah. It looks like that kind of quality.
Well, and considering the way that Super 7's been going, kind of nice to know that somebody out there is still pumping out figures in that style for you guys.
Yeah.
So I'm saying about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to look at a couple other things?
Yeah, let's see some other things. You know, I'm putting off this box behind me here.
I know
Coming
you are.
off
I'm
our
waiting.
route.
I'm waiting for you to jump in. I know you're not going to do it, so I'm just going to. I'm going to show this stuff real quick. This one right here, though, man, probably one of my favorite things to come out in the last year. This is a Bat Kid by Graveyard Shift Toys, aka Jonathan Queen. This one is called the Old Timey Blue. This is a run of 6.
Now, is that the third that you have of that now?
This is the second. Yeah.
Second, okay.
Yeah.
That's a sick colorway on that one, though.
Oh, it's so fucking cool, dude. I mean, I just loved it. If I had this in a blank, any style would be super cool, man. But this one right here, that old timey blue, God, dude, he's dead on with that old timey look. You know what I mean? I love this figure, dude. The fact that it's in vinyl, the bagged up look is really cool. I'll probably end up taking it out of the bag for sure. But yeah, dude, love it. Jonathan Queen.
It's funny, Slipshot Average is saying it's like a 1960s vintage Halloween decoration, because that's all I could think too. As I was looking at it, being like, you know, that's one of those pieces that even a mom could like. Even a mom could have a couple of those that she puts out on the fucking dinner table around Halloween time.
Straight up. Also, if you're into Jonathan Queen, man, February 4th, Jonathan Queen will be joining us here on the show. That'll be a good one, man. Graveyard Shift Toys. You know, that dude is straight up world famous oil painter. Some of the Motu stuff that he's been doing recently is just incredible. All of his stuff is really, really cool. But then finally getting into some vinyl making. But yeah, he'll be on the show talking about AR that following weekend. And some of his stuff. I think Resin Blood may be on with us that week as well, so that'll be super cool. Those guys are tight. So that'll be a fun show. Last but not least on the share list for today is Future Retroistic issue 7. If you haven't got it yet, do yourself a favor and go and get that. Snag that up. Look right there on the front. We got Pope. We got Cool Cat. We got some Zimico. We got there's some Pikmin on there. There's some more Zimico. There's some Pope. Super cool, man. But as usual, you know, the street art, the toys, great coffee table fodder for people that come by. There's a nice Cool Cat spread. Look at that. That is super sick.
Crazy that there's 7 of those out there now, man.
There is, dude. And you know what's cool, man, is there's no sign of slowing down at all. Kramsky is a great dude, man. And these are dope, man. You know, there's not a whole lot of magazines out there that cover strictly indie toys. There's a handful, right? But this is one of them, man. Look right there you got Gumskull on the cover right there.
Got the old Pope right there, Zimico, Pikmin vinyl.
Yeah, dope.
Damn.
Dope. So that's Original Cash Brand. Hit up Original Cash Brand if you haven't snagged one of these yet, man. This one is a nice glossy cover, nice thick stock. But it's a great magazine, man, for what is it, like $20, something like that. But it's a good one. If you can get your hands on any of the back issues, highly recommend those two. But hey, if number 7 is going to be your first one, go grab it. It's a good one.
Even that's the quality of it, you can tell, like we were saying it last time too. It probably just fucking reeks of the ink, because like so much color pumped into that thing, man.
Yeah, and it's you know, and he even does his own process, you know, progress shots too, and you can see how much work goes into that, putting that together.
I can only agree.
Dude, and 7 of them, and every single one of them is just dope as shit. Super cool. Super cool.
No.
Come on. Hey, you're up.
Okay.
You're
Okay. Fair. Yeah. So, for starters, for anybody who has sent B something and asked B to send it, B has fired it over. And on top of that, also, and I'm sure B probably feels this same way. This is always awkward, only because we know how much work these guys put into this stuff. We know that for a lot of them, it's not as if like these dudes are selling out of everything constantly every fucking time they put something up there. It's hard not to be like, dude, we didn't do anything. You know what I mean, man. I'm sure you feel that way as well. You're sitting there being like, I didn't do anything, and then especially when they'll send somebody, it'll be like, thanks for everything you do. You're like, I literally don't like. If we all lived in the same town, if I was fortunate enough to say, hey, on Wednesday, are we going to meet up and go bowling? And for the next 2 years, we all did that, that'd be pretty freaking cool and fortunate. You know what I mean? Not very many people can ask for that. And that's kind of what we do. For the last 2 years, we get to be like, hey, man, you want to meet up on Wednesday and just talk about all the new toys that are coming out and cool drops coming? So it's like, when people are like, thanks for, you're like, we don't do anything. So I think that's what makes these kind of boxes sometimes really awkward. You're like, dudes, we didn't do anything. It's super appreciative and very, very kind of them to do it. But like, yeah. And then admittedly, like, there's just so much in here that like, dude, and like you labeled things, but like something like this here, right? Like the low tech.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yes.
And dude, like this was one of like those first pieces that we kept on kind of showing off when this artist was doing resin work, and now they're onto a whole other world of vinyl, of DIY vinyl. So to see one of these pieces that we come and talking up, and like this picture here is exactly how the character ends up holding, man. And like I was looking at that leash in person today, trying to think to myself, like, fuck, I bet that was such a pain in the ass to get right. You know what I mean? Just stupid, man. And like artists again that we talk to all the time, and like this bag here, like obviously this is a whole bunch of, they're called Chippendale, but they're like little birds in here, and there's some actual little Chippendale characters in here, but obviously like Toy Ronto Riot is gonna be bringing a bunch of these and handing them out and making sure
Hell yeah, dude.
some of these dudes.
For
and of
sure.
course B is insane, so on top of that, like I don't like, I'll never not have stickers and fucking stickers and magnets and sticker packs and like, what the fuck, man? Hey, Pope Toys, look at you. But yeah, admittedly, like even trying to just put packages together of some of these things to make sure that like the Canadian homies end up getting some of this shit. And like, this is another one, right? Jason Lex. It's like, dudes, a prime example. Like, we look at this picture, like we look at these. We go to their website, we look at these fucking figures, then you get to actually hold one in your hand, and you're like, oh, dude, what the hell? Like,
don't you love those, dude?
Dude. So just how many times I would have probably just said, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck?
You know what else is cool about that Jason Lex one, dude? $5.
Like, get out of town, man.
Free. He threw that in.
Like,
I know.
And you get it, man. You're sitting there being like, you guys are fucking nuts sometimes. And B, like, you're a fucking sweetheart, dudes. Check this fucking guy out. That
Dude,
copper
that
thing,
such,
freaking extra terrestrial swamp thing, Pete. Like, look at his bum cheeks too. When you want to talk about a good sculpt, like, oh damn, dude, like, yeah, he's got it all right in there. But yeah, like, and what's insane, like, I was saying a bajillion, this exists now. Like, if you were a swamp person and knew nothing about toys and indie toys and resin toys and all that, and you went on eBay and saw this, you'd probably be like, what the fuck is that? I don't have that in my collection. I've got every single release ever, right? And it's like, not this one, not the extra truck terrestrial fucking copper fangs one. Like, god damn, man. It blows. And then, like, obviously, like, so we were just looking at, or we're gonna look at the page in a second here, but dude, you like, okay, Javaho, fucking leave it to them to do a black and white. But that, look at the, like, look, oh, that's not even just a black and white, little white little beads in there with like black glitters in there on a clear translucent freaking resin pour on a little Ganesh figure. It's like, what the fuck, you dudes? And then, like, oh, get out of here. You know,
Yeah.
like, damn, dudes. Like that's that. And like the black and white ones always catch me off guard because I'm always just kind of like, fuck you guys. Like somebody like fucking retro neon, and like you go through those videos and you're like, we've now met this dude. We've had privilege of talking to this dude, and then you get to actually hold their work in hand, and you're like, whoa,
Yeah, dude, that's from AR Philly, I believe.
damn, dude. Like that's just sick, man. And that's what I mean by like, everybody's like, you're all just way too fucking nice and kind and like fucking retrozone neon, fucking bootleg resin, boom. Like just silly to me, man. What else am I digging around in here? Yo, this was wild to me because this is folklorian. And then for anybody who actually knows like scraps and stuff, this was their scraps piece. So like for me, that just actually like adds to the
Ooh.
insanity when you're like, yo, like that's not just like a piece that you were like, oh yeah, like whatever. It's like this was your scraps piece, man. Like, damn, dude,
That's
has a little
dope.
bit of everything in there. It's a sick
Nice.
pour, man.
Mm-hmm.
Stickers in there for the broids, and then of course Zemitco. You talk to a bunch of these little caterpillars and worms from the Zemitco. They're gonna go into little mixed bags for when I'm meeting up with artists at the conventions. And
Aren't those cool, dude? The pores on those worms and on the worms and the caterpillars.
dude,
Um,
there's
they're so
insane,
good.
man. There's
Yeah.
not even there's not even an easy way to try and like show what's going on there, man. And even
Yeah.
like these are those kind of pieces you show somebody and they're like, what the? And then they just look at them, caterpillar, and they're like, oh my fucking god, you know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, of course it is. It looks so dope. It's so fucking gorgeous. The pores on them for little like scrappies, basically. And if you guys aren't familiar with this artist, this is actually an artist out of Japan. They do nothing small. So this is the Death Scream donut, and this is one of their vinyl pieces. And straight up, like, you're gonna go to their account, you're gonna be blown away for one by their follower count. You're gonna be like, what the fuck? And they're gonna see like their pictures and their work, and you're just gonna be like, damn, like this person's a pro. Like they've got fucking everything. And their little mixed bags of minis, genius, man. Just
Mm-hmm.
like if you were getting a small little bag of little like donut holes or something. And then of
Yeah.
course you pop this open, and just like we were saying earlier about cards and stuff, like again, this person does not go small. It's like you've got character cards for their Frankengum and their Cerealians. And of course, they've got back prints on them. And it's like, what the hell, man? Like, you don't do anything small. Everything is to like the full extent.
And you know what's crazy, dude, about those cards and stuff like this is that's something that I didn't ask Kevy Cold Cuts either, but I think probably as an artist you get to the point to where like that those cards come with something, so you're putting all that effort and production and
Right?
material into something that you're just throwing into the package, and who knows if you're getting money back for it or not, because how many things can you add and keep
It's,
on going up in price before it's too
yeah.
much, you know?
And like, let's be like the little Fruit Loop colored guys. Like, I'll probably toss them in with some Zimitco worms and caterpillars, in with some of the other fucking Chippendales. But and honestly, somebody you guys might know, but like I can't even make sense of this. Almost all of their pieces have this little plug. There's this little gray plug that'll say Death Animal on there. There's a little smile there, and it's like, so what is going on here? Why? What am I looking at? Like, what is this from? Is it printed? Is it fucking factory made? And then, dudes, like, this might be one of the obviously most of you I feel like have the vomit one, so you guys already know. This low tech shirt though might be one of the coolest things I've seen in so long. So there's the back.
Bro, straight up, dude. I love that.
The back has everything from that resin figure I was talking about to their home vinyl pieces that they've made. And I fucking love there is no it can't be done. It's like,
Yeah.
hell fucking yeah, bro. That might be one of the most like bootleg punk rock fucking things, man.
And the
Like,
sleeves, dude. The prints on the
I,
sleeves too. Sick.
exactly,
Yeah.
dude. Like, get out of town, man. And
Dude, if you remember, we gave away one of those Invisors like on one of the very first shows that we did.
100p.
Yeah, and I remember, God, dude, I've talked to him a bunch of times about coming on the show, and he's just not that kind of dude to come on the show. But he
I get
does
it.
have a history of, he's got a good background in t-shirts and print making. So if you're interested in t-shirts or kind of what the material, what kind of like heavyweight material to look for, I'm sure he would love to answer some questions about that, dude. Low tech, that dude. And we talked about homemade safubi earlier, and
Dude,
man, that dude, great shit. That's a great account.
I get a lot of people reference Craftman when they're talking about like DIY Safubi, which is dope. But in my opinion, it's going to be low tech because somebody like Craftsman, they're on a little bit of a different bar for a lot of people's minds, and that's great that Craftsman can do it. But not everybody goes, well, if Craftsman can do it, I can do it. Whereas I think low tech being low tech, seeing somebody that's like literally like on your page, one of the homies making shit like you, seeing them just jump in and do it, I think it drives that little bit more of like, look, yeah, you know what? It can just be done.
Sure.
It's not, you don't have to be special to be able to do it. And that's why I even fucking love that. It's like there is no it can't be done on the back of that. It's just like, yo, like get out of here, man. That's badass.
Yeah.
And then of course the vomit shirt that I think we all know that is fucking one of the more badass ones, with the
Yeah.
back being the bootleg everything.
There it is, man.
It's like, you guys, man. It and Jimmy, I am sorry that I ever referred to this as looking like a prolapsed anus. I don't recall that, but I can see why potentially when looking at the scraps pieces, I went, "Hey, yo, I love that. That looks dope. It does look a little like a prolapsed anus," but you know, you have to ask yourself, why would crumbs know that? So I mean, hey, I've paid my dues for it. That's what I'll say about that.
He confirms. He confirms. He goes, no, it does look like that. That's funny. Dude, you know, the collab shirt is something else that we're going to have to maybe look into and work with people on just some different kind of logos for shirts, man. I'd like to have just a nice consistent flow of artwork of Toys Alive related artwork from artists, because there's so many good artists out there, dude. To throw it on a shirt, make a little run, I think that would be dope. Same with stickers, man. I know that Abe was talking about something like that on Toys on Tap a while ago. Also, hey man, shout out to Toys on Tap, dude, for that new logo, dude. I really like that. You know, I don't know if you have a tab of that or not, dude, but Abe switched the logo over to a new one. It's
Okay.
a just kind of like that microphone, that old school, um, that old school microphone, and I thought that was really cool, dude. And he kind of explained why he's doing that. He's getting away from anything like Star Wars related or anything that looks like it's from something else. Which I agree, man. For his show, I think he's to the point now where he can kind of separate himself from something that looks like a toy or something like that, and he's kind of over a broader spectrum. Yes, dude, I love that. That little
Yeah.
um, so it's a wind-up toy. It looks
Yeah.
like a. I thought it was one of
And a
those old
mic.
school.
It
Yeah,
is. It's
uh,
both. It's
yeah.
actually a little microphone as a wind-up toy, which makes perfect sense. He does it. He
I
does a
like
podcast.
that, dude. I want that
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
fucking vinyl, Abe. Abe, make that in a vinyl, dude.
Oh
Um,
Jesus.
I like that, dude. That's a very cool. I like that. I like the new font. It like looks crisp, dude. Looks clean. Podcast down there at the bottom. I like that, man. Um,
Well, if we're gonna talk about toys on tap right now, also, what
oh,
a fucking find on this no Fubi, eh?
bro, straight
How
up,
does
man.
this not have more? 822 followers. How does this not have more?
Those things are so fucking cool, dude. I saw those and I was like, what in the hell is that? I have not seen those.
And dude, every colorway looks sexy. There's I don't know what it is about this figure. It is good. They've sculpted
Ooh.
something very appealing with this figure. Yeah.
Agree, dude. Because look at every single thing we're looking at right now is dope, and it's the same figure, dude, over and over
Yeah.
again. That yellow and green painted one, a couple rows up, was fucking phenomenal, dude. Holy shit.
I think it's even it's all the different textures. It's the scales to like
Yeah,
what are those baby eggs called?
baby egg. I don't know.
And Pocket Salsa, the Toys on Tap logo was made by Snooze Toys.
Was that it?
SNZ SNZ Toys. Snooze Toys.
Yeah.
That guy there.
You remember some of their pieces.
Yeah.
That one in the top right corner of the very top row, that one was one of the dopest things that I think we've
Of
seen in a while.
Apocalyptico.
Yeah,
I
dude,
would have to agree.
that was nuts. That was
And,
nuts.
no, you had this tabbed. You fired this one over to
Yeah.
us. Navajo Creations. This is the second one that we're working on. The Muscle Mutts. So, of course, waiting for the epoxy sculpt to fully cure, then start the final cleanup. Oh,
Dude.
so this
And
would
I was
be
talking, those things
great.
have got to be heavy as shit, dude. He said they're closer to 6 inches. They're definitely bigger than a 5.5.
Well, and
But
like,
the weight of those. And if anybody follows somebody like Froggy Flips, Froggy Flips, he has a collection of those, and anytime he tracks those down, dude, the OGs of those are like incredibly expensive.
of these?
Uh, yeah,
Fair.
yeah. They're. I mean, it must be the rarity of them too, but um, you know, the fact that he's sculpting these is pretty fucking incredible, man.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Beethoven, the St. Bernard dog. It's like, Jesus. Chivaho is just something else in general. And you were talking about these at the end, earlier in the beginning of the night as well. We've been waiting for these for a little bit. Rat Boys drop this Thursday, 12 p.m. Central Pacific. There you go.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. That's fuck, dude. That's a good one. You know what I really like in one that I missed is that one in the middle right there, the resin one. Oh, I
Yeah,
really dig that header card too. But that's very cool right there. I love that.
yeah, their like brotherhood love for each other is really fucking dope, man. Their styles work really well together.
Yeah, dude. Bootleg
That's
Toyco,
true.
man. That's another one of those accounts, man, that I think over time we're gonna see go through the absolute roof, dude.
I would
Uh,
hope so. They've never made anything not good.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
they don't
And
miss. They never miss.
yeah,
This
yep.
was another one that you fired into the old DMs today. Now you own a couple of these, right? I bet, if I'm not mistaken, you, Kerf, and DNS went on a couple.
I was just gonna say, man, going back to the shipping that we were talking about, doing combined shipping, we got these. This is the artist Legends of Patagonia is what that translates to. And that's an Argentinian artist. So stuff coming from there is extremely expensive as far as shipping goes. So yeah, we had all gone in and got some figures a while back. This was years ago now. But their styles just it's unique, man, for sure. Like you can pick one of those out from wherever, but they have a whole line of figures. And it's extensive, man. I mean, it's not like, just a dozen characters. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. And I believe they have like a whole little either comic book or cartoon or maybe even an animated thing going on with some other artists, but the figures are super legit. Yeah, the soft goods are super cool. Um,
Very Kachina like Kachina doll like. Sorry.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
What else we got in the old
Yeah.
These Muscleoids did a glow in the dark jumbo Safubi, extremely limited run. DM them to get one. They've been doing a lot of Safubi lately, man. Also,
Yeah.
Swarm popped a couple of these guys up into the store. I think it
Ooh,
was today. Some of the Marbled Mayhem turntable tarantulas.
Yeah, or the original name for those, the Scorpion Scratcher, aka Turntable
Damn.
Tarantula. Those are sick, man. That was the very first, not that specific one, but that piece is the first swarm piece that I bought, and that was at a decon probably, probably 4 or 5 years ago. But um,
Damn. Dropping
sick, man.
that toy knowledge.
Yeah, it's sick, man. Cool, cool
That's good.
piece.
JSM Safubi caught me off guard with these guys
Ooh,
actually. So I haven't normally seen these accounts, but like I said, popped up in the feed today, and I was like, you know what, I need to share this because I like that guy. Plus, Republic Customs. Now we were talking to them the last time that they were in. We were asking them about how they're doing some of the stained glassing, and when you know now that they're dyeing the figures, it just makes this so fucking impressive, man. Because I can't help but think about like trying to perfectly get that dyed without getting anything on this. You know what I mean? Leaving the hand clear, and then having to do these paint details here with these stupid. And one of like this, I think it might have been the second time we ever had them on. I remember Jay talking about how anything with straps, how it's annoying because the more times you got to do the straps, gotta try and stay in that perfect fucking line.
yeah,
But these
man.
stained glass figures are just
And the stained glass, shame on me for thinking that stained glass was just a reference to the look of it, but it really is like going over it and staining that clear resin. I had
staining
no
it.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Well,
know
now
what I
you're
mean?
making me feel dumb because I hadn't thought it put it together either.
Well, and I was thinking that it was, orange resin painted like that, but it's not. It's clear resin, and then it's stained in those colors, which makes it all the more impressive. And then you start to understand, and I believe those are like $50 a piece, which, you know, I would say for a 3.75. I don't want to say it's on the higher end. It's probably more kind of close to the middle, but as far as the amount of work that's put into those, holy shit, dude. You know what I mean? Are you getting your money back out of that as an artist? I don't know, man, but that's got to be a long process to do
This
that.
is so much work trying to just add like that, just enough of the orange color matching it to the body, leaving the head translucent, but still getting these little eyes here and stuff. It's like, yeah, dude, there's so much going on
Mhm.
there that can't even imagine. Speaking of fucking sick ass pieces though that we can't even imagine, you see this resin blood piece? So they're
Yeah,
gonna be having a couple of these getting geared up to make some drops with some new stuff. Should be about 2 weeks. Keep an eye out. But they've been kind of known for doing these hand casted or hand sculpted and then casted resin backers.
yeah,
And that one's just super sexy. They've also been
yeah.
posting. This is going to be with them at assembly required.
Sick.
Prints of these.
Some of the required coming up in less than a month.
So accounts under 1,745 on this guy here. Psychedelic Safari Toys. There we go. I know for a lot of people, this is their favorite part of ET is seeing him all white and withered and awkward. So these home phone and wrinkly space boys are under the weather. Get yours now before he croaks. Limited edition of 12, $15 plus shipping.
Nice.
But yeah, I just thought those guys were pretty fun and an account that I haven't seen before. That's going to be that No Fubi that we ended up seeing. For shows coming up, Playful
Hmm.
Gorilla on January 31st is going to be doing 100 artists versus one gorilla, which I thought was definitely a funny concept based on that whole 100 men versus a gorilla. So, yeah. But this is going to be at the Space Lab with Jay Martin and Philly. Oh, what else we got on the docket this
Damn,
evening?
that was crazy.
Some Brulio Toys has this enter win free Santa. Now, I'm not sure if this giveaway has already been done or if it's still going. It didn't list the end date for it, but it didn't get a whole lot of love at the moment yet. So if you haven't commented on there and you want to try and enter in there, get the heck over there and get yourself a nice new Santa. Also from Brulio coming up, they're going to be dropping this guy here,
I
Harpoon
like that
Henry,
one.
coming soon.
I like that one. That one is cool. Also, I believe the ones from Kill Bill, I believe there's still some of those available as well. There was 4 available. I didn't see
Update sold out.
An update on that be so those may be available as well. If you're into Kill Bill, great movie. Hit him up, man. I haven't seen very many Kill Bill figures, that's for sure.
I'm with you on that one, man. We've also got Weird Kid Club. So they're going to be tabling at Artist Alley AU next month with a Zombie Optimist. If you're going to be in the Australia area and the market is near you, I think you should go check that out. Caribbean Park, Scoresby. There you go. Their Toys, another account under 1,000 at 955. Looks like it's a combination of some filament printed stuff, but also a little handful of some resin stuff there as well. So they've got a big cartel going live this Friday of this week's. I don't know, I said weeks. Assembly required, of course, happening February 7th and 8th. So that's just right around the corner. You mentioned this earlier tonight, the Sewer Showdown. Sign-ups start today. It's going to be happening March 19th. We want to try and get as much traction on that as possible. If you've ever been a part of one of the Dimension X toys or have seen some of the Making a Mutant pieces that they've been a part of or kind of helped start back in the day, they're definitely a very, very lovely individual. They have a contagious smile as well. You can't go to one of their posts and not see them having this big, giant smile. See?
There he is.
Yeah, just a very, very lovely dude, very talented maker, and definitely somebody who throws a lot of work towards the actual community vibes.
Yeah, man, and just to be right before that Sewer Showdown, that show drops on a Thursday. The Wednesday, the day before, March the 18th, Dimension X will be on here, and we'll kind of get a little preview of the show and kind of touch base with him, man. But those shows are good. Last year's Sewer Showdown was dope, man. That was a really, really good show. I'm glad to see it back.
Yeah, TMNT is one of those ones. I think there's a huge fan base for it. And of course, it has had so many different iterations over different generations. There's so much to pick from and be able to try and make and do. And there's canceled lines and all that jazz. So I feel like it's one of those ones. It's a little bit more obscure than Star Wars, but at the same time, popular enough to get some really fucking sick pieces out of it. My thoughts.
Agreed, man. Those oversized pieces he does are those are crazy, man.
They really are, and it makes sense why sometimes it takes them a couple of months to get them printed, built, and painted. But always fantastic. That's all I had for tabs. Besides, also that last one of the toy du jour that we showed off at the beginning, with the little collection that had been given to them.
Nice. Sweet. Yeah, I think they are going to be posting those for sale at some point. I would imagine they're a storefront, but they also do some online sales.
They've been uploaded to the website, yeah.
Sweet.
And just like that, once we pass that 11 o'clock mark, it's kind of like, okay, we don't do those 4-hour episodes anymore. That's year one, Toys Alive.
But yeah, I think we could take that amount of content that we have and easily stretch it into 4 if we wanted to. We would have got on the artist page and would have scrolled and talked about different things. And each one of these pieces would have taken us 40 minutes to get through. And those shows are fun.
They were, but at the same time, holy cow.
Yeah, no kidding, man. No kidding. Well, that was a good one, man. Kevy Cold Cuts, go take a look at that one. Thanks again to him for coming on. That was a really good interview for the first one of the year. He's running some great sales right now. Go ahead and get yourself some t-shirts and some prints out there. Those are phenomenal deals. Remember, the 2 for $40 was all in Canadian pricing. So it's less, obviously less than that. Here in the States, pay a little bit of shipping. Watch out for him at Toyota or the Toronto Toy Riot coming up in May. Sounds like he may try to get to that one. But he is running some sales right now, so jump on his website and take a look at that. Super talented dude, man. Some really, really cool shit in there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely a great artist, man. Let's let these guys get on with their nights.
Let's do it, man. See you next week.
Peace.